Good Sunday morning, guys. Russ from Willie's Firewood here, and I'm sporting my log cabin firewood hat. Thank you, Jack, for that. We got that when we went to the Hope event back in September, and Kevin and I sport them on a regular basis with pride. You got to support your fellow woodhounds when you can. I think I've also got another woodhound shirt on today. I do. I've got my Ken's Cut shirt on. Ken just passed his 500 subscriber mark, so that's awesome. If you haven't been over to see Ken yet, give him a shout. So we had a video that got a lot more views than any of our normal videos did, and it was titled My Biggest Fear of Firewood. And it showed Gramp cutting on a log pile, and the pile shifted on him, and boy, oh boy, have the safety police come after me. Blaming me for Gramp not wearing his PPE and for him cutting on a log pile with logs that can roll. Let me explain a few things to everybody right from the start here, because a lot of you are new to the channel, and that's okay, but you need to understand how we do things and why we do things. So sit tight for a second. So the short clip you just saw of Gramp cutting in the yard is all the PPE gear that you will ever see him wear. And it doesn't matter how many safety police ask, and it doesn't matter how many people complain, he's not gonna wear it. Gramp's been running saw for 46 years. And if I could begin to even fathom the thousands of cord of wood that this man has cut in the 46 years that he's been running saw, the number would just be astronomical. He hasn't always cut firewood like he does for me production-wise, but he's worked in the woods chopping for skidders. He's cut his own firewood, neighbors' firewood, the church's firewood. The man loves to run chainsaw. The man's PPE gear consists of a pair of gloves and steel-toe work boots. That's all it's ever going to be. And I don't care if he's in the woods, if he's in the woodyard, or if he's in his own yard. That's his PPE. I don't condone that behavior. I don't think it's okay, but at 78 years old, I'm not going to change the way he does things, and I am blessed, thankful, and fortunate to have Gramp around. If you see me run a saw, you're going to see me. I'll have a helmet on, I'll have my chaps on, I'll have my earmuffs, I'll have my boots, and I'll have all the gear that I need, because I know it only takes one slip up, one accident. 46 years of running saw, I've only seen Gramp have one accident with the saw. He nicked the inside of his foot with the chain and had to get 6 stitches. It's the only accident I've seen him have where the saw was what caused the issue. And I brought up chaps before when I first started the business and things like that, and he said, I'm not wearing those. They get in the way more than they help. He goes, you need to pay attention. So that's my soapbox rant, guys. It's not that we want to work unsafe. It's not that we want to teach people how to do things the wrong way. Gramp's 78 years old. He's as old school as they come. You guys see the amount of firewood that he's cut on this channel. It's the way he does it. And I'm not going to try to change him, and I don't want to change him, because that's Gramp and that's what he does. So, but this week has been a whirlwind. It has been one of the strangest weeks that I've had in the 10 plus years of doing firewood. You guys know we are typically really busy. Things have slowed down dramatically. Last week we sold 4 full cords of firewood and maybe half a cord out of the racks, which is well below what our norm should be and usually is. I attribute that a lot to the weather that we've had up here. The weather has been absolutely crazy. It's been in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, and I just don't think people are worried about being warm quite yet. So it's slowed down the firewood sales. That's okay. That's going to give us a chance to start on next season, and I'm going to show you guys that in just a minute. But with every bad news, there's always some good news too. The good news I'm going to tell you about in just a second here. So in 2021, I was looking at all of this sawdust that was in the yard, and I said to myself, what in the world are we going to do with all this sawdust? So I had the crazy idea that I'd make some fire starters. I had gotten online and I had seen how different people had tried and done this and done that. And I came up with a way to make fire starters that we've been using since 2021 for our customers and for our own personal and recreational use. And last week, with it being slow, I took to the internet, just like any true entrepreneur would do. And I offered them for sale to everybody else in the United States and Canada. And holy smokes, guys. You want to talk about take off like a rocket. We have made and shipped 3,000 fire starters in the last week. I have samples that have been sent to 9 different states, and I have samples going to 6 more states and 2 provinces in Canada tomorrow. And with any luck, if I can keep up, we're going to have at least another 2,500 or so fire starters that are going to go out this coming week. First off and foremost, I do not claim for our fire starters to be the best. I do not claim for them to be the premier of anything. Our fire starters are an offshoot of our business to help us use up some of the wood that we already paid for. I have all kinds of people that grumble and mumble, oh, it's dirty sawdust. I don't know how you get clean sawdust, but this stuff is clean, it's dried. We run it through a screen to get out all the fines and dirt, so it's shook out pretty good. And it's just hardwood chips. We dry them out. We have molds. We pour our wax into the molds. They have a candle wick to light. They're easy to light. They're waterproof. They burn 7 to 10 minutes all on their own. About as good as you can get as far as I'm concerned. I'm not looking to be the best at it. I'm just looking to provide a cost-effective alternative to the other woodhounds and firewood sellers in the community and or large recreational users, campgrounds, things like that, to help people start fires. Some people can't start a fire. I don't know. I always could start a fire, but some people can't. So that's why we did it. And I want to say thank you to everybody. If you're on YouTube and you were one of those people, or if you see this when we tag the link on Facebook and it was one of you that ordered or wanted a sample, we appreciate you. That's a huge help and a great thing for the business. So right here is the start of next year's bundled firewood. There's probably a little over a full cord of ash there, and we are going to split this small and stack it to dry for next year's bagged firewood. This will start going out probably late April, early May, and it's going to be a new thing for us. And I've got a small yard, so I've got to get creative. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we're going to give it a whirl. If you catch me saying bundled firewood, I mean bagged. I will not be selling bundled firewood. I did bundled firewood when I started, and I do not like them. If I was going to do bundled firewood again, I would do the heat tunnel shrink bags, just so they hold a little tighter. I don't like the plastic wrap myself, especially in Maine with the temperature swings being so far up and down and, you know, wet and dry. The wrap stretches. I'm just not a fan. I like the bags much better. And we've got some multicolored bags coming, and they're going to have a reason and a purpose, and we'll show you that when they show up shortly. But we're not going to be bagging anything until probably April, maybe even May. We're going to let it dry, and we're going to bag as we need it. I'm not going to bag ahead only because I don't have the room right now, but we're working on something with that as well. So I guess you'll have to stay tuned. So you guys saw our Allwood make pumpkin beer not long ago, and it's still up for sale. I've had a couple of people that are trying to get financing arranged for it and trying to get the money together, but nobody has totally committed yet. So the Allwood Musclewood splitter is still available with free delivery included anywhere between Maine and Michigan. Delivery date will be sometime end of November, beginning of December, somewhere in there. It's a great machine. It'll make somebody a really nice addition to their woodyard for sure. And we're really excited to bring the new machine and the other machines after home to show you guys just how innovative Allwood is becoming in this wood splitter market. They haven't been a big presence in shows and things like that, but they've been around for a long time. And I can't wait to help with social media and YouTube to show all of the new things that are coming from Allwood. So again, if anybody's interested, give us a shout. We'll work a deal out. $12,000 or best reasonable offer, and free delivery is included, and you may even get to see yours truly and Kevin, because I think Kevin's going with me when we go to pick up the new splitters. So it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, well, 4:40 I guess, almost 5 o'clock, and it's just about pitch black. I've got the lights turned on. I'm still pulling ash out of this pile. Kevin wasn't feeling well today. I told him go ahead and take the day off as it was Sunday anyways. My wife and I went and checked out a local craft fair. I did some networking there, spent some time with my wife, which we don't get to do very often where we both have our own business. So now I'm back pulling some more ash out of these piles until dinner time. But we'll see what we can get pulled. I'll spin you around, show you my light setup here. It's just a cheap Harbor Freight dual LED light, but it'll blind you. So they're way up there. We're 50 feet away because I didn't want to blind you that bad. But it lights the piles up pretty good. Clear down to where we have the ash. I've got the wheelbarrow on the other side. We'll put a few more wheelbarrows. We'll pick some ash out of this. And then it's going to be dinner time, I guess. But gotta keep going all the time. Got a bunch more inquiries for fire starters. So I'm answering those emails and messages. If one of those are you, bear with me. I'm trying to juggle that between everything else. And that's really not a problem because firewood orders have slowed down, like I said, but man, look at this in this lighting. That's some really, really nice wood. And that pile of ash, there's 2 rows on the back. I'm started on the 3rd row in the front. Should be a little over 2 cord there, so we'll be 1/50th. As depressing as that sounds, 1/50th of the way to our goal for next spring, which would be 100 cords. I'm gonna try to make it all ash. If I'm not getting enough in what we get for firewood to make it all ash, I think I will mix some maple in there, but it will be ash and maple. There'll be no other species. Not for this stuff anyway. We've got some smoker woods and some things that will have oak and cherry and stuff like that in there, so we'll work on those and we'll make sure that we get that taken care of. But for the most part, we're gonna keep plugging away at the ash. I just saw the 2 timber cats go flying across the yard there chasing each other. But I gotta get back to work because it's not getting any lighter out. All right, guys, so we got almost that 2nd row finished there. We've got the 3rd row in behind. So almost 2 cords of ash separated out of the piles. It's getting a little dark and I'm getting hungry. So just another day where things don't quite go the way that they should. But I'm gonna go package up some fire starter samples to get sent out in the morning. And tomorrow we're going on a field trip and I'll bring you guys along. You'll probably see the video. Say you'll see the video on Tuesday more than likely. But we're gonna go see another firewood producer here in Maine and check out their operation and see what they've got going on. They're all the way up in Aroostook County. So we're gonna take a trip tomorrow and bring you guys along with us. But remember guys, a little bit every day goes a long way. Help someone if you can, and we'll see you on the next one.